And part C, the last part of this question, it says state another assumption you have made in part B, which was the hypothesis test about the loaves of bread. Okay. It says state another assumption because in part B it said we were already assuming that the standard deviation hadn't changed, okay, which we need to have a standard deviation value to do the hypothesis test. Okay, so the sorts of comments that they would allow for the mark would be things like, we're assuming that the 15 small loaves were chosen randomly, okay, because it didn't say that in the wording. Okay, it says the next 15 he purchases, okay, but is that person deliberately picking small ones or big ones, or, you know, the nicest looking ones? Okay, really, for a proper test you should assume that it's a random sample. Okay, what else might it accept? Well, you could say assume that the loaves are being made independently. You don't want them all to necessarily have come from the same batch because something might have gone wrong on the way. Okay. You're assuming that there wasn't a problem in production. Or with the ingredients. Maybe you've changed ingredients and that makes a difference. Okay. Yeah, it's awkward because there might be a few things that you might say that they wouldn't accept. So they wouldn't accept you're assuming that they're making the loaves the same way they always used to, or that they didn't incorrectly calculate the mean and things like that. So it is a bit tricky trying to make sure that you've got the right sort of reason. You just almost have to think about what's a fairly common sense thing, but also remember that statistically you're thinking about, you definitely need it to be a random sample. You definitely need these not to sort of all have the same fault, if you see what I mean. Okay, but it is a tricky little question.